As I mentioned, we're spending this first part of today's afternoon shift talking about the Affordable Care Act. We know there's a deadline looming in a few minutes. We have some experts on hand to answer your questions. But first, we thought we would get a different perspective on the Affordable Care Act. Last week, 10 of Chicago's top high school debate teams debated head-to-head on whether the Affordable Care Act will hurt the U.S. economy. It was part of the 4th annual Performance Trust public debates on the U.S. economy. And we have the first and second place finishers with us. So I'd like to welcome to the afternoon shift from the first place team at Whitney Young Magnet High School, Kat Sears and Jerron Dastrup. Welcome to the afternoon shift.
Thank you.
And the second place team from Lane Tech College Prep, Naheen Kano and Aisha Patel. Thanks for being here too, you guys. Thank you. And we also have Edie Cantor, who's the executive director of the Chicago Debate Commission, who's with us as well. Thanks for joining us too, Edie.
Thanks for having us.
So, Kat and Jaron, I wanted to start with you guys. Are you seniors, or what year are you all?
I'm a senior.
We're both seniors.
You're both seniors. So you actually won by arguing that the Affordable Care Act is going to hurt the economy. What did you say?
There's a couple of portions to our argument, which is like one of the best parts of these debates was that there's like all these moving bits and pieces. One of the biggest portions of the debate, though, and I think what a lot of the judges found the most persuasive was about whether the implementation is going to occur, how Obama and the Congressional Budget Office and much of what people cite as why it's going to be good, if that's how it's going to go into effect. And looking at how the implementation has started to be carried out, our argument is that it's not, in fact, going to work out that way.
So, Kat, when you all would you pick this position or do you get assigned this position?
Well, we have to research both positions, saying that one position being that it would be detrimental, the other saying that it would help the U.S. economy. So in the final round, it ended up being we got to pick because of our speaker awards. But other than that, we get to pick every round, or it comes to us every round on a sheet of paper.
Oh, okay. So you have to be prepared to argue both sides then.
Yeah.
Okay. And so it was assigned to you all in the final round that you would be the, I guess, I don't know what the contra position or whatever they would, the negative.
We were assigned, we actually got to choose in the final round. Every other round it was assigned, but in the final round we were given the option and we decided that we would say that it was detrimental to the economy. And
so do you flip a coin as to who gets to pick their side? How does that work?
Usually it's given to us by the people who run the tournament. They just give out a ballot and it says whether you're affirmative or negative.
This one was decided because there's preliminary debates leading up. We had the better record going in with the most wins.
Okay. Aisha, how did you all do research? How did you do research on this topic?
We had a research guide that the debate commission gave us, but then we also did our own research. We read a lot of articles and a lot of studies that professors conducted on the Affordable Care Act, and so we basically just took those arguments and we just added more analysis on them.
Okay. Does it matter to you all, does it matter what your personal feelings are on this when you're doing a debate?
We shouldn't put in our own personal feelings, I think, but maybe it would help with giving the speech because we'd be more passionate, but it's better to just keep your biases aside.
Okay. So did you all, Naheen, I'm going to ask you, did you learn anything? What new did you learn about this? What did you think? What did you know about the Affordable Care Act before you started researching all of this?
The only thing I really knew about it before were the taglines that you heard on the news, really. So this really gave me an opportunity to go more in depth and research about how the Obama administration planned on implementing it. So the process of it and how it actually worked was something that I was able to actually learn about.
Jaron, what's the thing that how many hours did you guys spend researching all of this stuff, by the way?
For this one specifically, I don't know, probably 8 or 9 hours for the 2 or 3 weeks leading up. So this is slightly different from the regular debate topic, which is about Latin America. And for college apps, we actually calculated how many hours on average I spent researching, and it was 37 hours a week. And I think that Kat does comparable, if not more research. So it's just there's a lot of research that goes into these debates.
Okay. Edie, from your perspective, can you tell me a little bit about what goes into these high school debates and why this topic was picked this year?
Sure. Well, first of all, the students who were involved in this in the performance trust debates are our top debaters in our league. Our league overall is about 1,400 debaters in Chicago, and they're debating the Latin America topic that Jaron just mentioned. But Performance Trust, our sponsor for this debate, hosts a debate every year that focuses on current economic issues, and they really are interested in having the debaters talk about something that's really on the news every day. And so we worked with Performance Trust to identify issues that were like that, and of course the Affordable Care Act is number one in the news these days, so that's why that topic was chosen.
Kat, why did you get involved with the debate team?
Actually, my sister had done debate while she was in high school, and I had seen her become a part of the community, and it was just something that I really wanted to be a part of, so that's what piqued my interest, and I went on from there.
Okay. Do you all feel like, was this something that, Aisha, I wonder, was public speaking something you really enjoyed doing before you started?
I was really shy before I started, but my English teacher told me to try out for the debate team because in our school you have to try out and then you get chosen. So I just did it because, I wasn't going to lose anything if I didn't.
Are you guys seniors as well?
Yes.
Okay, so all seniors. Is it pretty much all seniors that reach the level of the finals?
There was a few. There was some sophomores and juniors in the mix as well. Last year, it was almost completely seniors except for me and a couple of others. But this year, there seemed to be more of a mix, which was nice to see a lot of rising talent in Chicago Debate League.
Edie, how do you decide who wins a debate?
There are judges. There's a panel of judges for every round. So in this tournament, in the final rounds that these students were in, there were 5 judges, and each of them has a vote. We have a very specific rubric for them to decide where they really look at the evidence that the students are using and particularly interested in seeing whether the arguments are supported by evidence and whether they refute the evidence of the other side. And this tournament also, as a public debate, also looks at issues in the rubric of public speaking and oratory and just how the students present the argument. So the panel of judges listens to the whole debate. They take extensive notes on what they're hearing, and then they make a decision at the end. The lead judge in our final panel was the CEO of Performance Trust, the sponsor of the debate.
So not necessarily people who knew about the topic matter who were experts on the subject matter.
That's correct, actually. I don't think we had any subject matter experts, although certainly we had people on the panel who are very sophisticated in questions of the economy. But I don't think we had any Affordable Care Act specialists on the panel.
Okay. And I should mention we have a few Affordable Care Act specialists who will be joining us in a few minutes. So if you have calls or questions about the ACA, you can give us a call, 312-923-9239, or you can tweet your questions too. Jaron, what did you all present as evidence for the Affordable Care Act hurting the economy?
We had a large variety of evidence. A lot of it was studies done by Bloomberg News or articles from the Washington Post, and then there was also scholarly articles by people talking about the way that these kinds of policies in the past have affected the economy. The focus of our argument, though, was one of the way that people have responded to it. So it became less a focus on the scholarly issue, which Lane Tech actually had fantastic scholarly evidence. But we talked about the way that people have responded to it that went against those models. So businesses who have fired employees instead of hiring more employees as we thought they would, that sort of thing, that was the crux of the matter, just describing the way that people have responded.
What evidence did you guys present in Lane Tech?
We had a lot of evidence on what people or what experts assumed would happen as a result of the implementation, but Whitney Young had a lot of it's already implemented, it's already happening, these effects are already happening. So their arguments had a little more weight, but we had just a lot of expert opinions on what would happen.
Okay. So in a debate, how much does the evidence matter versus how persuasive you present the argument?
I think that the evidence really does come into effect, like, pretty significantly, just because you're left with nothing if you don't have something to back up your claims, because at the end of the debate, you really need warrants behind why your argument would be so persuasive in the first place.
Especially in the context of having like very smart judges. Like we had judges who were like on the trading floor, we had these CEOs, and they're just like, but why should I believe you? And that like really comes out being able to say like Congressional Budget Office like said this, and like this is the studies backing that up. Those sorts of things are like a big part of the like persuasion at those kinds of like levels of an audience and a judge.
Well, thanks so much, and congratulations to both of you, both teams, for placing first and second. From Whitney Young Magnet School, Kat Sears and Jaron Dastrup. From Lane Tech College Prep, Naheen Kano and Aisha Patel. And Edie Cantor, who's the Executive Director of the Chicago Debate Commission. Thanks for being here. Thanks for spending some time with us. A note to our listeners, we are going to continue this ACA conversation, so please give us a call, 312-923-9239, and we'll get you your questions after this short break.